Alright, so this is part 2. From Italy. We are on lap 7 right now. So we had a safety car before. Adriel Lockdock is out of the race. Jinnit closing on the back of Night Monkey. We have a yellow in Sector 2. And looks like we have a multiple car crash. Terminal Dady in the Williams. JXW around as well. Does not look like we'll get a safety car. But those two are off in the grass. Now back at the front, looks like Jinnit closing in on Night Monkey here. Does have DRS. Gonna make his move and get by successfully. So great stuff from Jinnit, taking the lead. And ooh, Night Monkey not going to contest that. So Jinnit up into first. And remember, he won the race last week in Italy, or in Belgium. So definitely looking to go back to back in 2 weeks. Puff right behind him in third place. So let's take a look, since we missed a little bit of stuff, thanks to Xfinity, which sucks. Let's take a look at the positions gained and lost from the start of the race. So RC really the biggest loser from the front of the field, losing 6 positions. So definitely losing out there. Wolfsburg losing 7, obviously just got involved in that incident. Bark School a little bit loose there. Not many big gainers, as Scavney making a move now on RC. So RC just continuing to go back, and he might have made contact there with Scavney. So things definitely not getting better for RC here. Big on the mediums. So it looks like he is doing the reverse strategy here, trying to make that work. So we'll have to see what he can do. As Puff closing in on Night Monkey, making a move into turn 1. We'll have to see if that can pay off. Still right on the rear wing into turn 3, making the move to the outside. And that looks like he will not clear. Now he will, as he heads through turns 4 and 5. So Puff into second. He's been second the last 2 weeks, so definitely looking to improve on that here and get up to Jinnit in first place. Soy Loco in 4th, gets a little loose out of turn 6. Maverick and P7, so still looking to gain positions and get to the front. He does have DRS on Mr. Baboon, who has DRS on Sam, so won't be gaining any time there. Scavney a little ways back in 8th place. He could really overtake Maverick here and benefit. It would be a big deal if he could get by. We have a yellow in Sector 3, it looks like. This is where the leaders are, and Jinnit has spun. Jinnit spins out. So Racing Point really having their struggles as of late. Everybody coming into the pits, so this is apparently the time to get off the softs. Night Monkey in the pits, Lit Romney in the pits, or Lit Romney still on the track. Mr. Baboon in the pits. So Mr. Baboon out of the pits, goes on the mediums. Bark School, RC pitting, which I think was a good decision for RC to come down and pit. He lost a lot of spots on the start, and Eric pitting on the hards. Interesting decision. He did come in for the softs after that initial safety car, so interesting decision there to go down and pit. Let's go back up to the front. Oh, moment there for Wolfsburg going off track. JXW will get by. Looks like Biga picks up a penalty, so that's I believe the first for Biga, and he is under pressure now from Lit Romney. We'll see if Romney can make a move on the front straightaway. Biga does not have DRS, so we'll have to see what he can do. Romney does not get the best of runs and does come into the pits, so no DRS for him as Sam speeds in the pits. That is crucial. A 5-second penalty, and he gets held up by the McLaren, so things just getting worse for the Red Bull driver. Puff into the pit, so this is really the time for people to come down and pit as Night Monkey making a move on Hightower. Hightower going to give the position. Good overtake there from Night Monkey as... Oh, going wide, and that will give him a penalty. So, looks like guys picking up penalties here. And penalties definitely going to have its effect at the end of this race. Now, battle for the lead, and this really isn't for the lead as these are just the guys who have not yet pitted, but Jinnit did spin out, so I can assume his soft tires are more worn than what they are, due to all the tire wear from the spin. But this could be a good little battle here as Maverick goes wide. We have a yellow in Sector 2. Oh, Hightower going off the track and getting back on. A big moment there for him. Let's see what Maverick does. It looks like Maverick does come into the pits. Jinnit staying out, so Jinnit could be going for that soft to medium strategy and really trying to make the most of the medium tires for the end of the race. Jinnit's the only one out there on the softs besides Hightower, who might be coming in the pits. He's going through Parabolica right now. And yep, into the pits. So Jinnit the only one on the softs. Interesting stuff there. And it looks like Biga still out on the medium, so a lot of people going with the same strategy except for Jinnit and Biga. And you can even argue that Jinnit's on the same strategy. He's just kind of extending those tires right now. As Night Monkey closing in on the back of Puff. Puff going with the hards, and Night Monkey on the medium, so we'll really have to see what is the better outcome between those two tires, as Night Monkey does have DRS. We'll have to see if Night Monkey can make a move as Maverick picks up a penalty. So Maverick, not a great start from him this race, and that penalty definitely will not help as he is closing on the back of Sam. We have a yellow in Sector 1. That is Terminal Deity going around, so 2 spins now for Terminal Deity. Not the greatest start from him, so he's definitely wanting to improve on that as Jinnit makes his way into the pits. Let's go on board with Maverick and see what Maverick can do. There's a yellow in Sector 2. Did Jinnit go... Jinnit's in the pits. What was that yellow for? Guess we'll never know. Oh! Puff! Around in turn 1. So Puff making another error here. He made one in qualifying, and now a big move from him, and Night Monkey gets a 10-second penalty. I think Night Monkey just cut turns 1 and 2 again. Something just happened because Night Monkey picking up a penalty and wing damage. So this is huge and goes off track as well. What is going on from the AlphaTauris? Monkey Mafia just sped in the pit lane. Big stuff from the AlphaTauris. Lots of chaos right now with Soy Loco in the third because of all of this. Puff with a moment and still isn't in second. After all of this, Biga still has not come in pit. That is why he is out in front right now, but lots of mistakes being made from these guys, and Night Monkey made a big one, has wing damage, and is on the back of Mr. Baboon as we have a train from about 4th to 8th right now. And Night Monkey going to the inside, might be pitting right here. Sam going to the outside. All that wing damage is definitely hurting the performance of Night Monkey's car, and he is going to have to pit, and Night Monkey does pit. Sam in 5th with DRS on Mr. Baboon. Mr. Baboon going defensive into turn 1. And he gets the spot, so great move from Sam. being able to get that done. Does not get the best exit though. Let's see if Mr. Baboon can make a move. No DRS here, but does not look like he's using overtake, so might be waiting for an opportunity. Oh, is he gonna make a move? Nope, does think about it, does not do it. Ooh, good run. Out of turn 5, he's gonna have to wait for an opportunity as Alt Maverick is right on the rear wing of both of these cars. Ooh, Baboon going wide, but does have DRS. Sam does not. Mr. Baboon, pretty aggressive driver. We'll see if he can make a move. Going into a Scary on Sam. Still side by side, and Sam gives up the spot. So good stuff from Mr. Baboon. Great racing from these guys. Sam going a little bit wide. This will allow Maverick to close in, as well as Jinnit and Monkey Mafia out of the race. Looks like an issue through Sector 3. Let's go back up to the front, as we have a big train from 4th to 7th right here. There's definitely going to be a move made. It looks like Maverick making his move. Yellow in Sector 1. We'll have to catch up on that, actually. We'll see what that is, as side by side into turn 1, Mr. Baboon keeping this spot, Sam keeping his spot, Maverick all over the rear wing of Sam, Eric putting up the fastest lap. Doesn't look like we've seen any moves being made though. And it looks like that move is going to have to wait for now. And this has allowed Scabney to really close in on all of these guys here. Being in P8, needing those points, and we'll see if he can get it. Back up front, Puff really having a moment in Sector 3, Yellow. Oh, that is RC around, so this race just has been going well. Has not been going well for RC in the racing point. As Soy Loco all over the rear wing of Puff into turns 1 and 2. Doesn't get the best launch off that corner, so looks like he'll have to wait to make that overtake work. Looks like Jinnit was able to get by Sam for P6, and Scathy is really closed into both of them, bringing JXW with him, and JXW may be making a move here. Does not. Waits on the move, and rightfully so. Soy Loco trying to make ground on Puff, does have DRS. Not close enough to make a move, and oh, goes a little wide through turn 9. And we'll have to wait for the opportunity. Speaking of opportunity though, Maverick really being able to make its way through the field after a really rocky start to the race, and if he's able to pick up even P4, I think it will be a salvageable day. And oh, Mr. Baboon going wide, and that is all Maverick will need, very close to contact. And he does have DRS, so he'll be able to just pull away here on the straightaway. So Maverick into P4. He does have a penalty, so we'll have to see how that factors into the end of the race. Jinnit, remember, he did spin out through Parabolica before, trying to make his way through the grid, through the field, and is really gaining ground on Mr. Baboon and Alt Maverick. So really with a big fight for P4 still happening here. A little loose for Jinnit there. I got those curves slightly, but not a big deal, as looks like JXW all over the back rear wing of Scavney. Now remember, JXW is a reserve, so he'll be getting no points, but he does have DRS and Scavney does not, so we'll see if JXW can make a move. Looks like Scavney may have Nope, didn't have the DRS. Mr. Baboon picks up a penalty, so that puts him even with Maverick. We'll see if he gets any more penalties. Maverick going really defensive there, trying to break that slipstream. And Bigga finally in the pits after being on those mediums for 16 laps. So great stuff from him. Looks like he will take the softs. Yeah, so mediums to softs. This could really work out for Bigga. Night Monkey, penalty. Remember, Night Monkey had that... Oh! Night Monkey in the wall and is out of the race. So, after the great race last week, nearly winning, and starting up front today, things have not gone well for the AlphaTauri driver. And this will draw a virtual safety car, and now 3 drivers out of the race. And now the VSC is ended and Puff is in the lead with Soy Loco right behind him. Puff going a little bit wide here. And Soy Loco does have DRS. We'll have to see what Soy Loco can do with that DRS a little far back. So I don't think he'll get it done, but this is a prime opportunity for Soy Loco to get that win. Came very close in France. Won on track, but penalties ended up robbing him, and he is really using his overtake. Both of these guys kind of similar on their overtake, both around 30%, and Maverick in the third. So Maverick, if he can get a podium out of this, this will be a fantastic day for him after all the struggles early on. But back up front, Soy Loco just not close enough to get to Puff. He does have DRS, so this will help keep him with Puff. But we'll have to see as JXW put on the hards after the safety car in lap 1, coming into the pits to take those off. So not going to the end of the race, it looks like. Now keep in mind, Puff did come in on the hards, so great decision for him if this does pay off. Those mediums look to be pretty fast right now, maybe faster than the hards, so we'll have to see if there is a difference at the end of the race between those two. I can imagine the hards will be better at the end of the race, but these tires have only been on for about 7 to 8 laps, and Soy Loco DRS and is closer this time. We'll see if he can get it done through Ascari right now. Who has the back off, go a little loose, and this may put him out of DRS range, so big moment for him. Let's go back to the battle for P3, which is still happening. Maverick got the spot, but Mr. Baboon is still within range, just outside of DRS now, but if he gets a good parabolica, he could get back within that 1 second gap, which Jinnit does have on Mr. Baboon, but it goes a little bit wide, so he probably will not get there this time. Scavney making up spots after starting mid-pack in the grid and really getting a great run on Sam, not even using his overtake button, so great straight line speed from Scavney. Let's see if he can get a good exit. Not as good as Sam. Sam gets that launch, and I think that pass will have to wait for now. Jinnit close to Mr. Baboon, really reeling him in here for 4th place and potentially P3 based on penalties. Jinnit does have a couple of penalties though, so he is definitely at a disadvantage right now, but oh, looks like Sam went a little bit wide there. Scavney really closing him in here. We'll have to see what happens. Coming off of turn 7, does Scavney get the run? He has a great run using that overtake, going to the outside, and he might get this done. Fantastic move by Scavney. So Sam went a little bit wide there, but Scavney has P6. And we have this train from about 3rd to 5th, and Soy Loco is there. What can he do with that DRS and very limited amount of overtake? Puff is using his, so Soy Loco really just gonna have to save his stuff up as we have just 7 laps to go. Goes a little bit deep. Doesn't lose too much ground there. Oh, Maverick sideways sliding out of turn 2. Mr. Baboon is right there with Jinnit right behind him as well. He is right on the rear wing. Will he make a move into turn 4? Thinking about it. Not close enough, but Mr. Baboon pretty aggressive. So I can imagine he'll make a move shortly, as this battle's not over for P6 yet. Scavney just ahead of Sam by about 4/10. So that battle's still existing, but Jinnit having DRS, Mr. Baboon having DRS. Soy Loco not close enough, so we'll keep an eye on this for now. Mr. Baboon just reeling him in. This DRS is so powerful here, and that overtake button does help as well, but Maverick getting a great run, as well as Jinnit. Jinnit not using his overtake button, so I think he's waiting for the front straightaway. They have the DRS. Oh, Red Bull off. That is Sam spinning around. Lots of guys who usually run up front having issues today, and he is having to park the car to spin back around. There are still more drivers coming. Is that a Mercedes? Oh no, that was close. I believe that was Eric who almost got into him right there, so lots of trouble. There is Jinnit making a move into turn 1, still side by side to Mr. Baboon. There's contact made between the two, and that hurts both of them, as Maverick is just going to get away from both of them and secure that 3rd spot. Another yellow and a safety car. Unreal. So this just changes everything now. Alright, so we are now on a safety car. This is where strategy really gets mixed up, as we have guys pitting, but GP Colin making a mistake. Speeding in the pit lane. Looks like he's going on the soft, so this is really up to guys who still have softs left. Remember, we had some people like Eric before already pit for the softs twice, so may not have any fresh softs left. But this is where it gets interesting. Let's see what people do. I can imagine we'll have some takers. Puff pitting, Soy Loco pitting, and Puff oh my goodness, speeding in the pit lane for Puff Digital. That is a huge mistake. Soy Loco is in prime position to win this race. Pitting for the softs. Puff gets out first. Looks like Bark School and Scavney staying out. Oh boy, this hanging in here and watching the stream. Obviously technical issues before, but we'll should be good to go for the rest of this race. Now let's go through the grid. Did Eric put on intermediates? Oh my goodness. Well, if it starts raining in the next 2 minutes, he's probably going to win, but I have no idea what happened. Jeff probably screwed him over. Let's see how he does catching up to the field on these intermediates. That is kind of funny. And it's a shame too, because he was he's in position for points, and being towards the back of the let's check where he is in points, but he's definitely going to need points today to help him and Mercedes and constructors. Yeah, Eric P12 in the points, so this is definitely going to hurt him, and he's holding up guys like JXW and Lit Romney. If Lit Romney gets there, he'll be holding him up as well, so he needs to just come in, get off these tires, and just let everyone else by here. But yeah, big mistake there for Eric. JXW must be thinking, what in the world? Yep, and he does pit, so we will have to see. Oh, and he speeding in the pit lane, so just insult to injury there. Oh my goodness, that is putting on the softs, so and they're old softs too, so he's going to have a significant disadvantage to everyone else. So just things just continuing to get worse for Eric after being in a good position to get points. So Biga staying out on those 5-lap soft tires, so this podium is going to be very interesting, to say the least. We'll have to see what happens. Bark School in the points right now. P9 in points. Scavney, this could be a huge day for Scavney. If he somehow holds everybody off, gets that 25 points. And as of now, Maverick only lining up for 8. And that could change if guys like Bark School and Scavney fall down the grid due to their tires. So we'll have to see what happens. I assume the safety car will be in this time, so we will have to see what happens with Scavney and Bark School out on old mediums. Biga out on old softs, but still pretty fresh softs. And I'm surprised the safety car is not coming in this time, so we will have, it looks like a 2-lap shootout to the finish line, because the safety car, for whatever reason, staying out again. It is coming in this lap. At the last second, we will have a 3-lap restart. That was a very late call for the safety car to come in. This shakes everything up at the front of the grid. Scavney goes, and Biga gets a fantastic start, making his move on second place, going past Bark School. No room for him to get by. Scavney goes to the inside anyways for the lead on Scavney. They're side by side, a little bit of contact made, and Biga has it done. So he is in prime position to win this race after starting P16. Going back to his teammate Puff in 4th place right now, trying to make his way through the field. He is fighting Biga for P3 in the standings right now. He needs to get by these guys, maybe ascend here. Big stack up into turn 4s and 5. Bark School getting loose. Soy Loco all over the rear wing of Puff Digital now, as the top 3 who stayed out are somehow still in the top 3. Bark School in 3rd, Scavney 2nd, but Biga on those soft tires really prevailing here. And Scavney outside of that 1 second margin, as Puff trying to make a move here. No, Bark School goes wide. Bark School off the track, trying to come back on the track. This could be disastrous here. And he gets out of the way. Maverick, oh, spinner, and that's a Red Bull and a Haas, both around. And we have more cars colliding as well. A Racing Point. We have a Williams in the wall. Terminal Dady in the wall. RC. Massive calamity, and he gets a penalty for it. Back at the front of the grid, Biga has pulled away. This is his race to lose. Puff going for 2nd, trying to get around, or going for 3rd actually, on Soy Loco. They are side by side in the turn 1. This heavy braking area, and Puff goes wide, and Soy Loco goes wide a little bit as well. Puff has to go way off the track. He is out of this contention for the top 3. As Soy Loco in the 3rd, maybe 2nd if he can get by Scavney on those medium tires. Crazy stuff. We thought Belgium was crazy. This is even crazier, as Maverick and JXW are battling. JXW is a reserve. Still fighting for that spot though. Puff getting a penalty, so things have just... Oh, he goes way wide in the back. Things are just collapsing for Puff. Points out the window, and his teammate prevailing. Guys getting loose all over the place here. Go back up to the front here. Scavney getting overtaken by Soy Loco here at the front. Soy Loco going into 2nd place now on the grid. Great point stay from him so far, but he has to hold him off. Jinnit just got a penalty, so things are going to be really interesting at the end of this race. Making the move to the inside now, side by side. Side draft will be huge as they're coming to the final lap. Whoa, big move for JXW. He's sending it in on Maverick. The reserve trying to make the move. Oh, Maverick wide. Way wide for Maverick. Here comes JXW on him now. Yellow in Sector 3, but back up front. It is a battle for P3 between Scavney and Jinnit. They are wheel to wheel, side by side here, heading into turn 1. And we have another battle here. It looks like Maverick and JXW. Jinnit gets by. Great stuff from him. And they are single file to single file. Puff speeds in the pit lane, and he is out of the race, so that is disappointing from him. But JXW trying to take advantage of this as a reserve. Scavney in P4, Maverick P6. Scavney looking to gain points. Contact made between Maverick and JXW. and Maverick just got a penalty, and now look at Mr. Baboon going around them. They are double wide here for about 2 rows back into turn 6 and 7 as Lit Rodney trying to make a move now, and Mr. Baboon, DRS active. Let's see what JXW does. He's going to make a move here on Maverick. Maverick just going to let him go. Scavney up here in 4th. And we have a move. It looks like oh, there he goes off track. Mr. Baboon off the track. Back up front. Great strategy call for R Bigga, sitting P4 in the standings with his teammate Puff Digital having a collapse of a race. R Bigga is going to come to the finish line on a great strategy call and win the race on track and win the race on penalties as well. Soy Loco 2nd, Scavney in 3rd. We have a yellow at the back of the grid. Looks like everything is all set. So Soy Loco in P2, Scavney in P3. Fantastic points day for him, but losing points to R Bigga, but getting a lot on Puff. Jinnet gets 4th because of JXW being a reserve. Maverick in 5th, Mr. Baboon in 6th, Hightower in 7th. Unreal. First points on the year for Hightower. That is fantastic stuff. P7. Wow. What a race. It looks like Eric does end up getting points after his issues with the tires. 8th and 9th for Mercedes. And Bar School, after his issues going off track, still gets a point. So Terminal 80 missing out on points. RC after, oh my, oh no. Well, if there's a picture of RC's race summoned up, I guess that is it. R Bigga well deservedly gets the driver of the day from the game, but I'm sure he would get it from the race. Yeah, that is a that was fantastic stuff. Yeah, I am amazed that Bigga was able to do that on old hards, or old softs, actually. That is, and Soy Loco getting that podium just 2nd again. Not able to get that win, but let's go through the grid. Bigga wins the race. Attaboy to Scavney for not getting a penalty. Looks like he's the only one not with a penalty, but Soy Loco 2nd, Scavney 3rd, Jinnet 4th, Maverick P5, Mr. Baboon P6, Hightower first points on the year, P7. Lit Romney P8. Eric P9. Bar School P10. Terminal P11th. RC 12th. And Wolfsburg 13th. And then all these retirements. Sam and Puff both up there in the points. So, and Night Monkey 2, after his pace, Night Monkey's pace early on, incredible race. We'll see if we're gonna do interviews. There is a time limit to the recording, so we'll just have to be sensitive of that. But unreal race. We had a ton of calamity there in the final laps. I think we had two car incidents there, with a few laps left. So we'll wait a couple minutes, see if anybody asks for interviews. But if we don't have any, then we will sign off. But yeah, a lot of things to take away from this race, though. Bigga getting the win. Hightower scoring his first points. Scavney scoring points in a big way for the first time since Britain. Puff with his issues. So a lot to take away from guys like RC after his recent success crashing out. Yeah, this was a fantastic race, and hopefully this upload will be somewhat reasonable. The quality may not be the greatest, but we'll live through it. I think the audio quality should be fine. It's just the It's the on-screen quality that will be, I think, kind of questionable. But I believe this will be it. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and if nobody asks for interviews, we'll just we'll sign off here. Yeah, this has been the Italian Grand Prix. Biga winning the race from 16th on the grid. Yeah,
school, and then once I
so I'm gonna add
so close so many times, especially like this year, but like, man, that feels good. Man, that feels good.
All right, so it looks like everybody is here. So I mentioned this to Biga, but technically we're not live right now. This will get uploaded afterwards, thanks to my lovely internet for making it 3 laps into the race. So, but we did get most of it in. So, yeah, let's start out with Biga. Obviously, a great win for you after starting P16 on the grid. Take me through your strategy at the second safety car, what you were thinking, and were you confident staying out on those somewhat old soft tires?
Yeah, 100%, because I was like so far behind. Like when I came out on them, I was 7 seconds behind the next point, like the next car ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, I only have a handful of points right now, and I'm like, how far behind? So once that safety car came out, I was like, I have to like ride this delta as much as I can and try to snag, like, get near the front here. Like, I stayed out a little longer on the medium stint as well, so I knew the softs would last for sure. I wasn't worried about the life of them, and then I thought, like, okay, maybe like a couple of these guys out front, the pit going fresh softs, they're right behind me, could pose a problem, but I don't know. I mean, it's like Puff's misery in a way sort of benefited me because he was on those hards and he was slowing these guys down and they couldn't really get a crack at me there. So it worked out really weird, man. I don't know. It's just, it happened so fast, and then the safety car came in like the very last second, and it seemed like I was just in the right spot to just hammer on the gas and get after it. Yeah. There was no doubt I was staying out in that second safety car. I had to. That was because I was on the right strategy for that to work for me. I actually was kind of hoping for a safety car before I pit, but I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a mistake before the safety car comes out, and figured I gotta get in there and get on these fresh tires, because I noticed that I was slipping from rejoining in 9th down to 10th. So I was like, okay, I have to get in there. I'm losing too much time now. But yeah, go watch my stream if you want to hear how excited I really was. Obviously, it's kind of worn off a little bit now, but whew.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see the safety car come in that lap, because you guys were going through Parabolica and nothing happened. I assumed that we were going to have a 2-lap shootout, and all of a sudden the safety car, it was coming in this lap, and it's like, wow. Yeah, I think that definitely threw a wrench into things, but Biga, man, congrats. Like I said, going from 16th to 1st, that's, I don't think anybody else is driver of the day. I mean, that's as good as it gets. But we'll go on to...
I could qualify half decently.
Yeah, no, same here. Same here. But we'll go on to Soy Loco in P2. Good race from you. You were up front a lot of the race with Puff. I think it was an up and down race for everyone, but just talk about your point of view pitting there on that final safety car, and did you think you would be able to move your way up through the grid there on that final safety car?
I did, knowing that I think it was Bark School and Scabby that had the mediums on. I thought if I cleared Puff, I thought I had a chance to go for the win, but obviously Biga had that start, and by the time I cleared the cars, obviously he had created that gap that there was no way that I can close. I think just going through the last Ascari, I just double checked again through asked Jeff if Biga had another penalty, because I know he had 3 seconds, and I'm like, man, if he cuts the corner, maybe I can just close in a little bit to get him. But fair play. Biga did what he had to do. Had a great start, but I had to pit in for the softs at that point. I didn't think, with a couple people behind me going on softs, I didn't think I had the pace to maintain it, so pitting was the only option.
Yeah, and this will be a good points day for you too. RC, he didn't get any points, and Sam had his issues as well late in the race, so this will be a good points day for you.
Yeah, I've had a really shitty run of luck the past couple weeks, so I'm glad I was able to put something together here. Yeah, really bad result in Austria, shitty result in Britain, in Silverstone. My tire popped on the last goddamn lap in Hungary, which was a podium. So yeah, it's nice to put some points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, great run for you. Great P2, and then we'll go on to P3 and Scavney. I think this is a great run for you. I think this is the first points for you since Britain, I believe. So this will definitely help for you in the points. You stayed out on those mediums. How confident were you staying out on those mediums there?
Well, not at all. They were already at 30-some%, but I knew that was my only chance because it was either come in and come back out in 9th place, or stay out and be in first and hope for some good luck. And it almost paid off, but towards the end there was just no grip left compared to the fresh soft runners.
Yeah.
I knew Big and so each had penalties, but I kept trying to maintain that gap, but just couldn't quite keep it in there.
Yeah, and then, like I said before, a great points day for you. I think you did end up gaining some on Maverick. Do you think you're still in this championship hunt? Because you are, I think you'll be around 40 points back or so, but with 7 races left, do you think you still have a shot at this?
Of course, there's a long way to go. A lot can happen in 7 races, but it's all about just focusing on what we can do each week and not worrying about the rest. Just doing consistent things. That's all.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think this will end things out. So obviously, like I said, thank you for whoever is watching this back. I think we got most of this race in after all the technical mishap and everything, but hopefully Packer will be back next week so that this won't be a problem. But yeah, I believe next week is Singapore, so we'll see you next week.